I'm meeting again with Gary Klein, licensed clinical social worker. And those of you that have seen other videos we've made know that Gary's been here to talk about cluster B, some of the other problems with personality disorders. And so we're going to talk about today
borderline, antisocial, histrionic, narcissistic, and this is a language translator I came up with. So the first part, Eric's going to play the mammal part. It's the person who is dialed in, gets it, has empathy, all of that really good stuff. And then I'm going to do the part of what the cluster B or the reptile actually hears.
Now, again, why do we call them reptiles? Is that because we just want to call them names?
No, it's because that's the way their brains seem to work. It's stimulus and response, black and white, all or nothing, and they're on top, you're on bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get in the way, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to destroy you. All right. Sure. So I will start. And I might refer to Gary from time to time, but you know that this is just a placeholder for anybody. Gary, I can see your point.
Admit you were wrong. Again, I am always right.
I would like to talk about our relationship.
Well, you always criticize me. This is one of my favorite ones because with the reptiles, things are either black or they're white. And I'm either all good or I'm all bad. So if I hear something like, well, here, let's talk about this, I've got some questions, that's not all good. So I must be bad, my barriers go up, and then I'm going to attack to try to get the other person back down into the box.
Gary, could you pay me back for that money I loaned you, or those clothes you borrowed, or that book that you had?
Okay, I already paid you. This is one of my favorites because when you say, really, I don't remember, can you tell me where or when? Was it cash or a check or euros or whatever? And they say, well, I don't know, I just know that I paid you. In other words, get back in your box, don't bother me.
Okay, now I'm going to switch roles now. I'm going to play the reptile, and you're going to interpret.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Of course I love you.
What the reptile means is, I love how you serve my needs, make me look good, give me free sex, and provide me with a steady punching bag. Leave me alone and get back to work. You need me and you owe me.
Okay, now this is after I've been rude to Gary. This is what I would say. I was only joking.
Right, and what that means is, how dare you challenge anything I say? You have feelings and are therefore weak. Weakness should be punished, and I am justified dishing that out back to you. You need me and you owe me.
So what I should have said, that the tone should have been, I was only joking. So what I did is I just abused you, and then when you took offense.
Right.
That's what okay, so I had to look defensive, like, or insulted that you would take that as anything.
Right,
okay.
Right, and so then I'm off balance again, it's like, oh, and then I might say, well, maybe I'm being too sensitive or whatever, and as soon as I'm off balance, then I'm much easier to control. Also, I put a note down here, this tsunami effect. Out in the middle of the ocean, the tsunami's only 12, 18 inches high, and what Eric just played, well, I'm only joking, that stuff adds up and gets bigger and bigger over time. And then eventually, if I were to yell, look, you jerk, knock it off, then I look like the crazy one. You get to be the poor victim, and people will say,
I was only joking, jeez.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were so sensitive.
That always follows. You almost always hear that right after that. And what the reptile means is, you are pathetic. I have few feelings and am strong. You have many feelings and are weak. Let's see if you try that again when I shame you in public, for you have shown a chink in your armor. And they will. They'll do it in public, counting on me just to sit there and take it, and then my position gets weaker, because then they know, oh, great, I'll do it in public. He's not going to fight back.
I'll make a man out of you.
Okay. What the reptile is saying is, try and emulate me, because I am godlike and virile. All men should be like me. But if you actually compete with me, I will crush you. I cannot stand competition unless I know I'll be victorious. If you do not measure up to me, I'm justified in hammering on you, because you are weak. If you can compete with me, I must crush your soul and or excommunicate you. Banishment.
I will go to couples counseling only if you promise not to leave or divorce me.
Please bite this hook. If you do, I promise to be nice for a little while, and then I'll go back to my old ways. And then when you talk about leaving, I will really crank up the abuse. And I won't have to honor any of my previous commitments because you broke yours, you liar.
No one has ever understood me or loved me like you.
I will give you the illusion that you are special and endowed with special gifts that make you truly amazing or rugged. That will make you feel good and safe. Then your guard will drop. When you are soft and pliable, I'll dish out the abuse and criticize you for being cold-hearted and stupid.
Well, then can you explain?
All right, this hook, this is one of my favorites. Please bite the hook and engage with me so I can keep the chaos going. You'll think it's a legitimate question, but when you try to answer, I'll add another question and keep you off balance. Silly earthling. So again, you've got the social level up here, this is what people are talking about, and you've got the psychological level, this is really what's going on. It just shows up here. So I'm up here trying to defend myself and answer all these questions, and Eric, or Eric's character, is going to be down here coming up with different questions so that I keep chasing my tail, basically.
Let me tell you, Gary, my ex is scum, but you are the best.
All right. What the reptile's saying is, this is my hero to zero game, and I'm giving you a preview of the teeter-totter you unwittingly climbed on. Next, and then we'll just do the same thing. So they're demeaning their ex, you're next in line, and then it'll be the same thing for the person after, and so on.
You go to therapy first, and when you are better, then I will attend.
All right, I love this one. If you fall for this, I will always be able to say, you're not healed yet, and that way I never have to go to therapy. After months or years of expensive treatment, I'll say, you must really be messed up if a professional can't even help you.
It's pretty diabolical, pretty clever.
Yeah. Have you heard these things from your clients?
Well, actually, every now and then you do as lawyers. I mean, like and I'm sure you have too. You've had people say, I finally found somebody that understands me,
right,
and things like that. But and so we can all be manipulated. But I think it's interesting because it plays on your good guy sensibilities. You don't want to be these things, and so they know where to push.
Right.
They know how to press and apply some pain there, so that you will say, well, gee, I try to be a decent, humble person. If I've done something wrong, let me re-examine. It's just that they have, but there's no sincerity, there's no good faith on the other side.
Right. It sure seems like it because they're really good actors and actresses.
Yeah, and but there's no genuine
right,
feeling underlying it.
Right.
Like you say, there's just the pure psychological, pure what can I get out of this, no sense of altruism or anything.
No.
All right. Well, we hope you found that useful, and we will also provide a link so that if people want to pull up the same thing that Gary and I were reading from, you can get that from Gary's website. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sure.